Who here hates Ghostface? You guys are pretty quiet back there now. Freddy? Crypt Keeper? Nobody? Who wants to get destroyed in the comments section for their opinions on Scream 7? I offer myself as tribute. Thanks for being here.
Hi. You've tried to reach Jessica, but unfortunately, she's a little tied up at the moment. You know, I really like her. She's such a little cut up, especially after I'm through with her. Say, what's your name? What's your number? I can give you a call as soon as I'm through with Jessica, and then you and I can play a little game. So leave me your information and I'll see you soon.
So I finally sat down to watch the newest entry of the Wes Craven beloved franchise, Scream 7. Say it loud for the folks in the back. Scream 7 is here, as in there are 7 of these films that a fan base has been pining for. Apparently 7 Scream films. Well, you're probably asking yourself, Josh, buddy, dude, get to the point. Does it live up to the fucking hype? And I'm going to say it's quite simply, fuck no. But maybe, just maybe, that's not entirely its fault. A little backstory with my personal history with the Scream franchise. Now, I remember first hearing of the new Wes Craven effort in 1996, kind of like a lot of old school horror hounds who went to high school in the late 90s. Everybody was on top of the world. Everybody was really, really excited for this film. I was not. And I was not because in the part of Washington that I grew up, I went to a place actually called a high school pharmacy that had like movies and costumes and a pharmacy and a little bit of groceries. It had like everything back in the day. You could rent movies there and stuff. And in the Halloween section, all they had were all these stupid little Ghostface masks. That mask was everywhere for years. And I don't know if it was before the movie came out. I'm not really big on the lore, but I just remember thinking that is the stupidest fucking mask as a little kid. I mean, maybe 12 or 13. But just thinking there's nothing frightening about that. It's just shit, man. Poserish, right? I just felt it was horrible. So I wasn't really excited to see Scream. A couple of years went by. I want to say maybe like, I don't know, 2002, 2003. I finally sat down and watched it, and I was pleasantly surprised. It had Matthew Lillard in it, and it's got some kind of cool kills. And I love Wes Craven, so it was kind of cool to see him kind of reinvent this brand new version of himself in the 90s. And I get why people really like that movie. It's solid. It's the only one that I own, and I watch it once a decade because I just really am not the Scream guy. I've had to watch all of them probably once. And I've seen Scream, probably 10 times, maybe total, once in a while. But yeah, it really was. I thought Scary Movie was way better because the mask is. Anyway, let's talk about the best thing you can say about Scream 7. The best thing is that it plays nothing but fan service. And if for some reason you hated the last 5, except for the first one, this is a plug and play. And that's a really good thing because it's hollow without any real story and some suspenseful scenes of Ghostface stalking the next generations of Prescott's family and just kind of stabbing it up, right? In other words, for non-fans of the franchise, this is a mindless watch with a couple of cool kills or 2, and then just some fodder and some filler. That's really where the positives stop, because this thing is a slog of half-baked ideas, cookie-cutter characters, so we're just way past the point of saying, hey man, we're gonna make fun of meta-stereotypes that they should make this their... I don't understand what we're doing here. Why wouldn't they take their own advice that Wes set up for them? Because aside from those 2 or 3 stab scenes, this could just be an Amazon original, not a Paramount feature film, okay? So, who's ready to get killed? Well, listen, I gotta tell you, man, Scream 7 movies, 7 trips back to Woodsboro, and I know that this takes place in a different spot. There's 7 Ghostface killers, 7 opportunities to tell us why this franchise still matters, and after all these years, after all the speculation, after all the fucking casting drama, all the studio headlines, all the different bloody, disgusting, and eye horror, and fangor, everybody talking about this for the last couple of years, all the politics aside, the legacy characters, the fan theories, the fucking reboots, the requels, whatever happened to... Whatever buzzword Hollywood invents next, the big question becomes, man, this just did not do it. This movie, hype has killed more horror films really than Ghostface ever could. Expectations get built up so high that no movie can realistically clear the bar, but even with that in mind, Scream 7 still managed to stumble over its own knife multiple times. Okay? This is a movie that a lot of people are going to forget. The original Scream wasn't great because it was meta. It was great because really underneath the self-awareness and like the commentary, it actually did work. Those characters in the beginning were pretty memorable. Sidney was intense. Gil was intense. The mystery was still engaging. The kills had impact. The tension was real. The meta stuff was just really icing on the cake, and Wes Craven was way the fuck ahead of the game. But fast forward 30 years later, and somehow this franchise has become the exact thing that it used to parody. And it does it fucking horribly. I mean, another good thing I guess you could say is that it just kind of plays the fan service hits. If for some reason you just want Ghostface running around stabbing people, this is plug and play entertainment, man. It is mindless, okay? It's hollow, but it is functional. It follows the Scream template to a T. There are a couple, though, genuinely suspenseful sequences, some kind of decent stalking scenes, and Ghostface still knows how to make an entrance, right? The first, 10 minutes of this movie are kind of like a wow effect. I remember thinking, wow, this is really going to be underwhelming if that's the best scene in the movie, and unfortunately, that's what happened, dude. Casual viewers of people who aren't heavily invested in the franchise mythology, this is probably a perfectly disposable Friday night watch. You get a kill or two, a handful of red shirts, waiting to become big body bags, and just enough blood to justify the ticket price. Luckily for me, it was free. Unfortunately, yeah, these positives, those were the positives, dude. Once you get beyond the first 2 or 3 kind of standout sequences, it's like I said, it's just a slog. It's stitched together by fucking fan nostalgia and just a little bit of goodwill. Whoever said Kevin should be the one to direct instead of write, dude, hang them up, dude. This was not it. The characters don't even feel like real people. They're just kind of placeholders waiting for the script to tell them like who's next. I got nothing out of any character. I thought Tatum, moody, angsty, complete stereotype, just awful. No real chemistry with Sidney whatsoever. Sidney's so damn scared, and she does all of these things to like get away from Ghostface. She builds a fucking panic room in her house with no reason, no way to like call the cops. It's just like an escape, like out the back door. There's no weapons in there. There's no like, what the fuck are we, like Jodie Foster in Panic Room had it down. What the hell is she doing? There's a ton of movies about this fucking Sidney. God, man, I just feel like any emotional moments that happen in this movie, they land with the force of a wet napkin, a wet fart, really. It just does not hit. The most ironic thing is that this franchise, it builds up its reputation, like we talked about, mocking these horror cliches and then being completely consumed by it. Doesn't even fucking make sense. The original Scream told horror movies to evolve. It was kind of like a breath of fresh air. I wasn't on that train, but a lot of people, you ask a ton of people, man, they fucking love Scream. And they love the first 2. And the second one's not that bad. Scream 3's got some moments. But in this, everything is familiar. Everything is safe. Everything feels like focused, tested to death. We're going to do these things so the fans come back. We're going to dump all of our fucking secrets and who the killer is and like Matthew Lillard. We're going to do all of this before the movie comes out. Like, I don't understand what they are doing, man. It just does not feel like a major release. It feels like the 7th chapter of one of horror's. I don't know. It is not it. However, there is a scene with Ghostface where, and it's, you know, he's calling, and we got to talk about the AI really quick. I guess we should talk about that. Sydney's working at a coffee shop now. She's reinventing herself for the 7th fucking time right now. She's a barista. She owns this business. Her husband is a cop. Her daughter's named after Tatum, a callback sequel. She's just a bitch. And she gets a call from, can you guess who's calling, right? Ghostface. Enter Stu Macher, which is just cheap, horribly de-aged Matthew Lillard calling, threatening, making kind of bad puns. He's gonna come kill her. And then, you know, there is a cool scene where they're in the theater and the girl from Ghostbusters in this, and God fucking damn you for killing her. She's like hung up, right? And she's in this play. She's one of Tatum's just mindlessly dead friends that has no fucking character development whatsoever. They're just walking around. They'd be better in Halloween too. just horrible. She's in this fucking theater. She's hung up there, and Ghostface comes, and that's a little bit suspenseful when he's coming out of the rafters, especially if you like the movie Stage Fright. Shout out to you. But, you know, she's just hanging there, and Ghostface comes down, and he kind of does just a couple of piss-ass little slashes. Just a couple little slashes. How's that? You want a little bit more of that? And then ultimately, as she's coming down, he kind of puts his damn knife up there, and he guts her, and some CGI spills out, and that's the end of the first friend. Sydney comes in with the cop, and we're going to now take care of Tatum. And then eventually Matthew Lillard calls, and we're back in the house, and Ghostface is there. We got a little rustle, a little tussling going on where the cop, the dad, you know, played by McHale, who Joel McHale actually is pretty fun in this movie. I actually like him as an actor, and he kind of brings a breath of fresh air, because God forbid you bring Gail back in this fucking mix. God, dude, who ran over her face? Jesus. Fuck, man. Anyway, fucking Ghostface shows up. They're tussling. They run down the stairs. Sydney and Tatum go to this panic room, and then all of a sudden, instead of staying in there and just waiting for him to fucking get bored and leave, start smoking pot like you would in Scary Movie, they decide to get out. So they got to go through this little crevice in the wall, and that's a pretty suspenseful shot. It's probably my favorite part of the movie, because as you're looking at this wallpaper that's straight out of fucking like the early Scream movies, he's just like stabbing through it. Eventually they don't know which way to go. They're kind of playing this little like game of Frogger behind the fucking sheetrock there, and then eventually they bend his knife because he keeps stabbing at nothing, never purposely injuring anybody. And then he gets out the fucking fire poker, right? He kind of gets through there. They end up going out the back door, and they kind of have another little tussle because the husband's not dead. He's back, and they're kind of fighting. They're rolling around. And all of a sudden, he's ran over by Gail fucking Weathers. She shows up with half a fucking face again, and she's got the fucking twins from Scream 5 or 6, and they're just fucking there to make a true crime. Fucking tired, man. The whole fuck that. What the fuck? There is a cool kill also in the bar where we're just hanging out, and there's just a fucking. There's no cops patrolling, like ever in this movie. All of a sudden, everyone's on kind of like a lockdown, a curfew, and we're able to just like run from place to place. And, you know, we got people doing AI deep fakes, and that's going to fucking make sense. And Ghostface keeps showing up, and every time we like, you know, Sydney's fucking injured, or she's talking to her daughter, or she's like stressed out, she just like calls on the phone, and then the people who are going to be Ghostface, like, you know, the killers just show up, and it's so fucking obvious. It's such a slap in the face, I think, for real Scream fans. I'm watching this just on a Tuesday night, just fucking shaking my head, man. Just like, no. What the fuck are we doing? This is just pathetic writing. And then, of course, we get the big reveal. But we did talk about the bar, yeah, because they're all just going to, like, go around, and we're going to show you how we do deep fakes, and it's going to be the boyfriend. But it's not the boyfriend. That's a red herring just to be the people we all thought it was in the beginning when they demask them. Horrible, but there is a kill that involves beer and a bar tap. That's actually probably the best part of this fucking movie. We've been talking about this movie for 12 minutes. It's lifeless drivel. Don't talk shit about Dewey. Dewey's one of the better characters in this entire franchise, right? I don't know, you could look more like an old mop than Gail Weathers, but she fucking shows back up again. It does have Nick Cave's red right hand in it, which is a callback, so props for that. This movie fucking sucks. And I'm sorry, my buddies Fernie and Retro Joe that really wanted me to watch this movie, but I really can't fucking stand it. Gun to my head, I said 3.5 out of 10. The more I think about it, the more upset I get. This is the 3. For that stalking scene, the intro with the fire was just going to blow up Stu Macher's house for no fucking reason. He's never fucking come back around. He doesn't even fucking show up the rest of the goddamn movie. Why did we have that? It ties into the fucking movie. Not even once. I'm sweating. Guys, I love you. It's fucking Friday. Cheers.